Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I am Caroline. If you are a returning Book Eater member, welcome back. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Have a little fun in this little corner of the universe. The end of November already. Wow, and it's like stinking hot here in Melbourne. I hate it. I hate the heat. Yeah, I love winter and I just wish it was winter again. Yeah, so Christmas in the heat. Let's get into wrapping up November. All right. So this month, I read a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I think I read about I'm on par with what I was in June, which was 9 books. So yeah. But then towards the end of the month, I kind of really struggled just getting into a book. I don't know. I had a few deliveries this month, but we'll see. So this month started off with me reading The 1000th Floor, and I really struggled with this book a lot. It's a dystopian, I want to say YA, but it's more like NA, which is new adult, for those of you who don't know. It's more a dystopian new adult romance. So the reason why I say new adult romance, because even though these kids are still in high school, there's heavy drug use within the book, and a lot of the themes are very adulty, so that's why I think it's more kind of in that age bracket of 18 and over, or maybe 16, 17 and over. But basically each chapter, it's kind of I'm going to compare it to Sixth of Crows, but not because of the themes or anything, but because every chapter follows a different character. So that's how it's kind of like Sixth of Crows, because each chapter you've got Enid, you've got Kaz, you've got Matthias, you've got, I forgot the other ones, Jasper, and then there's another girl, what's her name? Forgot her name. Anyway, but yeah, so it's like that. So this one you have Avery is one chapter, then you have Wyatt, then there's Eris, then there's Rylan, and so Leader. And so basically what it is it's these group of really, really, really rich kids, and they kind of all get denoted by what floor they live on within the apartment block, and that kind of shows how rich they are. And basically this book kind of delves into these kids are rich, but they all have secrets. So Avery, this book is mainly about Avery. So this book actually, it starts off with someone dying, and then you kind of work backwards. So it's kind of, yeah, cool in a way, because you're within the first page, oh my god, someone's died, and then you kind of work backwards to see who that is, because most of the people in this book are blonde. So and all it just says is a blonde haired girl fell from the building. So you were who dies? Is it Avery? Is it Eris? Don't know. But basically, yeah, so Avery has a secret. She's in love with her half brother. Eris has a secret. Her dad's not really her dad. Lita has a secret. Her dad is in love with her best friend. Wyatt has a secret. He's in love with a girl from the wrong side of the tracks, and Ryland is in love with a guy who's really rich, and she's stealing his medication to pay for her boyfriend to get out of jail. Anyway, so it's just basically just a hotbed of just deceit and mystery and all that jazz, set in 1,000 years in advance to what we are right now. But yeah, so that's basically, so it's a trilogy. There's 3 books in the series. So the next book is Leader's book. But I gotta be honest with you, I probably would not read it. I really struggled. It's the same reason why I didn't really like Sixth of Crows. I really struggle with books where every single chapter is a new character. If it's, 50% one character, 50% another character, it's a lot easier to kind of get your head around understanding. But I just, yeah, I really struggled with this one, and I would not recommend it, to be honest with you. So that was the first book I started off with. Then I read The Inheritance Games, which I have raved about on my blog, on my Instagram page, in the very first video I did of this month. Anywhere that anyone will listen to me, I have told them how great this book is. Honestly, this book is phenomenal. I cannot wait for it to come out into a movie. I cannot wait for everyone else. Like, it's underrated beyond max. Honestly, people should be reading this book. Like, put down bloody the Cruel Prince, because that is just crap. Pick up this. This is fantastic. It's because there's no magic in it doesn't mean that like all these people that enjoy YA should be missing out on this book. Oh my God. Okay. I've said my piece. I think you understand how much I love this book. I will put the link of the review down below. It's just amazing. It's full of puzzles. It's really analytical. It's also got an Avery. But Avery falls in love with two brothers. One is like the bad boy and one is like the goody two shoes. And it's just like, who doesn't love bad boys? Oh, brother. Basically, the world needs to stop talking about this and start talking about this. It ends on a cliffhanger. It's just great. I honestly cannot recommend this book enough. Like, read it. Read it. Compose ourselves. Compose ourselves. Okay. So, I read this book, which is The Red Scroll of Magic, which is a novella, between the Shadowhunters, like the full series, and then Cassie Clare has released this one and this one as like intermediaries before like the next book is released. And they basically follow Alec and Magnus. So like their little love story is like tangented because they're a really popular character and popular, I guess, couple. So that's why they kind of showed their adventures. It was nice, I guess. I like Magnus and Alec, and I bought them to read them because I buy everything Cassie Clare writes. But I think as far as, I love her series more just because she's so good at intertwining all different characters, and she's just amazing at that. And I just think, yeah, it's a bit hard when you go from reading a book that follows, you know, 15 different characters to reading a book that just follows 2. So yeah, that's kind of where I kind of stand on it. It's a good book. It's a nice novelette or novella, however you want to call it, in between her series. But I wouldn't rave about it as much as what I rave about her other books. I also read Reluctantly Royal, which is the 3rd book in the Suddenly Royal trilogy. And this one was really great. I didn't really like the second one just because I don't really like that trope of like virginal bride kind of thing. So I didn't really like the second one. The first one was really good, but the 3rd one was amazing. I really liked it. Basically, it explored some deeper themes, and I guess, yeah, Prince Max was kind of a lot easier to kind of get to know, and you still had Alex and Sam from the first book. You had more Alex and Sam from the first book in this book than what you did have his sister Catherine, who was from the second book. So yeah, I really liked that. The trilogy was great. I think anyone that's interested in the royal themes, or they like books that are about, you know, like outtakes on royals, I would recommend the Suddenly Royal trilogy. I really liked it. I finished off the trilogy, the Cruel Prince trilogy, or is it the Folk of Air series? I don't know. But anyway, so I finished them off, the Folk of Air series. Because, so backstory here, I bought this book first. I bought it from Dimmicks and I didn't realize that this was the third book. And so then I was on the hunt to find the first book, and then I found it. And then I bought the first book, I read it, and I was like, what have I done? Because if I didn't buy the third book, I probably would have stopped at the first. But because I bought the third book, I was like, well, I have to buy the second because I have to read it in order. Like, who doesn't do that? And then, yeah, so I finally got the second, and I read both of them, and I was like, bleh. I just can't understand. Like, I hate Jude. I think Jude is an ass. Like, I really do. I just find her to be so crass, so hard to kind of connect with. I don't root for her. I don't like her. And it's really hard when you don't like the main protagonist at all. And I struggle to understand how this is considered a love story, because it's not even a love-hate relationship. Like, there's no love. There's no, like, feeling. There's no, like, basically it's just Jude trying to get back at Carden, and Carden just, like, not really wanting to get the balls to say, hey Jude, I really like you, but, like, just being like, hey, let's just go have sex. And it's just weird. Like, why would you be like, yeah, let's have sex, and then the next minute be like, I hate him? Please, like, how? I just don't get it. But anyway, so yeah, that thank God that's done. That was that. And then I read The Shelf. Oh my goodness, The Shelf. People, what are you doing? Like, this is fantastic. I love the fact that a publisher, an agent, and an author have all gotten together to produce this great book. Not in that order. Like, the author wrote it, the agent bought it, the publisher then published it. That is the order. But still, I love the fact that this book is fresh and modern with fresh language, and it's all like hashtag this, and oh my God, she tweeted me that, and like, they're on a TV show, a reality TV show. How is that not relevant to today? Like, seriously, it is super relevant. It is super on point of right now. And I just love the fact that this wasn't about finding love. This was about a woman who was 32 years old, who had been dumped, finding herself, and proving that, because social stigma states that when you're 30 and above, you should be married with kids. And this book really shows that, hey, like, just because I'm 32 doesn't mean I need to be married, because she was like waiting for her boyfriend to propose. And then when he dumped her, she was lost. She was like, oh my God, I've wasted time on this person. But the truth is, she has not, because she has found herself in the process. So I really, like, this was amazing. Like, The Shelf, please give it a read. Fantastic. And the couple is coming out next year, so give it a read. And then, so after I read those books, I read a ebook which was called The Rhapsody of Fire, which was an ARC given to me, and that was really, really interesting. I don't really have the book to show you guys, sorry. But yeah, so I read that, and then I was kind of a bit stumped, because I'd read all those, and I loved Ursula McTurnan, and I read her 2 other books, and I loved them. So I was like, oh, I'll wait till I have like a moment to just kind of zoom through the third. And I started it, and I was like, what the fuck? Why? I'm so upset. The first 2 books were fantastic. They followed Detective Cormac Riley. And this book follows Peter Fisher. Why? Like, Detective Cormac Riley's in the book, but he's a secondary character. It's all about Peter Fisher. And I was just like, I thought the whole series was about Cormac Riley. And so I put that down really quickly, and I was so upset, because I was like, I was hoping for a Detective Cormac Riley series. So that went great. So that, you know, I stopped that halfway through. And then I bought this book here. This is the soft cover. This is the hardcover. So it's called Swords of Fire. And I was like, oh, like, no one's talked about this book this year. That's weird. It was released this year, and it's YA fantasy. It's more like it's YA fantasy. And I was like, that's like really weird, because Harper Voyager's YA. But I was like, yeah, that's so weird. No one's spoken about this book. And like within the YA Bookstagram sphere, like lots of books get spoken about quite frequently. And yeah, so I was like, give it a read. It is so difficult to read. It's not funny. It's set in like the past, obviously. But like it's, when I say set in the past, it's like the language is really difficult and I can't get my head around it. And that's part of the reason why I don't like it. So like it sounds fantastic, the blurb, but yeah, I'm like, well, I'm just a bit stupid right now, so I'm gonna give that a break. So I put my bookmark in that. So I have now 2 books that I started reading and just went. So on to the 3rd. So then I picked up this book, which is Vampires Like It Hot. So I don't know, you may not know this about me, but I love vampires. Anything to do with vampires. I want to be a vampire. Anyone out there that knows how to become a vampire, let me know, because I want to be one. Who does not want to live forever? Hello? And vampires are like super skinny, like who doesn't want that? But anyway, so yeah, I picked this up. So this is not a new release. This came out in 2018, but basically the blurb kind of got me. And I was like, oh my God, like this just sounds so cool. So I started reading that and I like it. And that is basically what I read this month, which I had quite a lot of misses. I'm not gonna lie, this month was more misses than hits. But what are you gonna do? Can't do much. I read a lot though. And then I got this special little thing. So Anna and the French Kiss was pretty much one of the books that started me on my reading journey 10 years ago. And when I saw this 10-year special collector's edition was being released, I was like, I need to have this because this book is really sentimental to me. And I don't generally splurge out on special editions, to be honest with you. If I can pick one up really cheap, I'll buy it. But I just don't see the value in buying a special edition because if I already have the other book. If I'm buying the special edition because I don't have the other book, that's different. But like, yeah, I wouldn't splurge out and buy multiple copies. I'm just not a multiple copy person. I don't have a big bookshelf. So I kind of think realistically, you know, can this fit in my bookshelf? I also don't like to give my books away. So there's a bit of a dilemma there. But yeah, so basically I saw this special edition and I was like, I have to have it because this is like special on top of special edition. So this book, it comes with its very own printed pages. It's a hardcover. And then I got a very special surprise inside. Yes, it's signed by Stephanie Perkins. I'm super excited about that, to be honest with you. Just to have it signed by her. She just, like, she started off my reading, you know, she started off my passion and my love for this. So to have this special thing is pretty special. And I'm saying special way too many times and I'm well aware of it. But this book also comes with a little ribbon, that's what they're called. And it also has annotated at the back. It's annotated plans of Paris, annotated copies. And there was something else in it. Oh my God, she's got like an author's note here. I haven't read this yet. Well, because I wasn't gonna reread the book because I was just like, keep it, love it, don't touch it, don't look at it, don't breathe on it, let it stay new. Unfortunately, yeah, my courier service bent the edges. I was really mad about that, but not much you can do. Oh my God, she started writing this in National Novel Writing Month. So for those of you, it's Ramo. So National Writing Month is in November, and people take part in it. A lot of authors actually take part in it. A lot of emerging authors take part in it. And National Writing Month is basically where you set the challenge to write 50,000 words in the month of November. And the reason being is because 50,000 words is pretty much a novel. Like that's a smallish novel, and 70,000 words is kind of, you kind of get into like medium-ish size, and above that, you're a big novel. So yeah, basically a lot of people give it a go, and that's so cool. That's how this book came about, like from National Writing Month, Novel Writing Month. Wow. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but I actually have a thing for reading author notes, reading dedications, and the acknowledgements. I just feel like those are little ways that you can kind of get to know the author a little bit more. And I think some people just skip over them because they're like, it's not the book, it's not the book. But it's about knowing the person who wrote that book. Sometimes they share little tidbits of how they came up with certain things and themes and why they're relevant and important. And you just also get to know what's important in their lives, because that's who they're thanking and that's who they're recognizing. And so I always stop and I read those things, and I just think that if they weren't important, they wouldn't be included. So yeah, that's like I said, I just learned that this book was written during National Novel Writing Month. That's fantastic. But yeah, so that is me for my month. This is my month wrapped up. Yeah, pretty good, pretty fair effort, I think. It was pretty. I hope you're all hitting your Goodread reading goals. I have to be honest with you, I don't really do Goodread reading goals because my reading fluctuates, and it kind of having to know that I have to hit a number of books scares me. It makes me it also takes out the love I have of reading. But that doesn't mean other people really enjoy having Goodread reading goals. So I hope you're all hitting those, and look forward to next month, which is Christmas, Bookmas.